Here is a frustration that almost every AI user knows intimately. You run a great prompt, the content comes back strong, but the structure is completely wrong. It is one long wall of text when you needed a table. The sections are in the wrong order. The headers do not match your workflow. And now you are spending 20 minutes manually reformatting something that should have been ready to use the moment it arrived. That experience is not inevitable. It is a prompt engineering problem, and it has a prompt engineering solution. In this video, we are covering one of the most immediately practical skills in this entire course: format and output control. You are going to learn the format framework, master the most powerful format control techniques, including tables, hierarchies, and custom delimiters, and discover how to engineer prompts that are error-resistant and bias-aware. By the end of this video, your AI output will arrive structured exactly the way you need it, ready to use with zero reformatting required. Let's get into it. Before we get into the techniques, let's be clear on why format control deserves its own dedicated video in this course. Most people think of formatting as a finishing touch, something you tidy up after the content is done. But expert prompt engineers think about format from the very beginning, because the structure of a response determines how usable it is, how readable it is, and how much additional work it creates downstream. There are 5 reasons precise format control matters. First, it improves readability and usability. Well-structured output is easier to understand, evaluate, and act on. Second, it creates consistency across multiple outputs. When you are running similar prompts repeatedly, consistent formatting makes everything comparable and manageable. Third, it saves time on reformatting. Output that arrives in the right structure needs no manual work before you can use it. Fourth, it enables easier integration with other systems. Whether you are pasting into a report, a presentation, or a database, correctly formatted output fits where it needs to go. And fifth, it enhances the visual hierarchy of information. Good structure guides the reader's eye and makes complex content accessible. The bottom line is this: a well-crafted response with poor formatting is significantly less valuable than a well-crafted response with precise formatting. Format is not a detail. It is a core part of what makes AI output genuinely useful. The format framework gives you a complete system for engineering precise output structures. Each letter represents one dimension of formatting control, and together they cover everything you need to define exactly how your AI's response should look. F, form. This is the overall structure of the response. Should it be a document, a list, a table, a report with sections, a script, a spreadsheet-ready format? Defining the form upfront sets the entire shape of what comes back. O, organization. This covers hierarchy and grouping, how the information is arranged within the overall form. Which sections come first? How are related ideas grouped together? What is the logical flow from beginning to end? R, representation. This defines how specific elements appear within the response. Should data be shown as numbers, percentages, or ratios? Should examples be integrated into the text or set apart? Should key terms be defined inline or in a separate glossary? M, markup. This covers styling and emphasis. Bold text for key takeaways, italics for definitions, headers for sections, bullet points for lists. Defining your markup preferences prevents the AI from making arbitrary styling choices that may not suit your context. A, arrangement. This controls sequence and ordering. Should items be ranked by importance, presented chronologically, sorted alphabetically, or ordered by some other logic? Arrangement shapes how the reader moves through the content. T, terminology. This ensures consistent naming conventions throughout the response. If you call something a client in your business, the AI should not randomly switch to customer or end user. Defining terminology creates the kind of consistency that makes output feel professionally produced. Let's see the difference format makes with a real example. Here is a basic prompt. Make a list of the top 5 marketing channels. Simple, direct, and it will produce a generic, inconsistently formatted list that is interesting, but not immediately actionable. Now here is the same request with format applied. Format the output as follows. Marketing channel analysis. Top 5 channels ranked. For each channel include channel name, effectiveness rating on a scale of 1 to 10, best for covering the primary use case, key advantage covering the main benefit, notable limitation covering the main drawback, and typical ROI range. Follow the ranked list with 2 additional sections: selection methodology explaining the ranking criteria, and implementation considerations as bullet points of important factors. Same request, completely different result. The second version produces a structured professional analysis document that is ready to use exactly as it arrives. Beyond the format framework, there are 3 specific techniques that give you precise control over the most common output structures you will encounter. Technique 1, table specifications. Tables are one of the most powerful output formats for comparative information, data sets, and structured analyses. But left undefined, the AI will decide what columns to include, how to order them, and what to call them. And that decision will rarely match exactly what you need. Here is how to specify a table precisely. Present the data in a table with the following columns. Column 1, name. Column 2, description. Column 3, effectiveness score. Column 4, implementation cost. Sort the table by effectiveness score in descending order. That single instruction block produces a table built exactly to your specification, sorted the way you need it with the columns you want, ready to copy directly into your report or presentation. Technique 2, hierarchical structures. For complex content with multiple levels of detail, hierarchical structure instructions tell the AI exactly how to organize information at every level. A clear hierarchy specification looks like this. Organize the content with the following hierarchy. Level 1, headers for main categories. Level 2, headers for subcategories. First level bullet points for key points within each subcategory, and second level bullet points for supporting details. Use numbered lists only for sequential steps. That instruction eliminates the inconsistent, unpredictable nesting that often appears in unguided AI output and replaces it with a clean, logical structure you can navigate instantly. Technique 3, custom delimiter systems. Custom delimiters are one of the most underused and most powerful format control tools available. They let you create your own visual organization system, particularly useful when you need a specific, repeatable structure for content that will be produced multiple times. Here is an example. Separate different sections using triple dashes. For each concept, format as concept name, followed by the name on the same line. Definition, followed by the definition. Example, followed by a practical example. Application, followed by the practical application. That structure produces output that is immediately scannable, consistently formatted, and perfectly suited for things like training materials, reference guides, or knowledge bases where you need to find specific information quickly. Even the best engineered prompts can produce unreliable output if you do not build in error resistance. AI systems have 5 common failure modes that every prompt engineer needs to know and design against. The first is hallucination, the AI inventing facts, statistics, or details that sound plausible but are not accurate. The second is relevance drifting, starting on topic but gradually moving off it as the response develops. The third is reasoning failures, making logical errors that are easy to miss when you are reading quickly. The fourth is consistency issues, contradicting something stated earlier in the same response. And the fifth is context misinterpretation, missing a key piece of information in your prompt and building the response on a wrong assumption. The good news is that all 5 of these failure modes can be significantly reduced through deliberate prompt engineering. Here is an error-resistant prompt template that addresses all of them. After your main task description, add the following instruction block. To complete this task effectively, first, only use information explicitly provided in this prompt. If information is missing, acknowledge the gap rather than making assumptions. Second, for any factual claims, evaluate your confidence level as high, medium, or low. And for low confidence items, indicate this clearly. Third, if you need to make an assumption to proceed, explicitly label it as such and explain why it is necessary. Fourth, after completing the primary task, review your response for factual accuracy, logical consistency, direct relevance to the original question, and appropriate level of detail. Fifth, if you detect a likely error in your response, correct it and explain the correction. That instruction block essentially asks the AI to be its own quality control system, and the improvement in output reliability is substantial. Here is your 3-part practical challenge for this video. For the first part, choose a type of content you produce regularly: a report, an analysis, a content plan, a proposal. Design a complete custom format specification for it using the format framework. Work through all 6 components: form, organization, representation, markup, arrangement, and terminology. Test it and refine until the output arrives in exactly the structure you need. For the second part, identify a task where AI errors would be genuinely problematic. Perhaps a client-facing document, a factual analysis, or something where accuracy really matters. Apply the error-resistant prompt template and test it with challenging inputs to verify how well it holds up. For the third part, select a topic that would benefit from balanced, multi-perspective treatment. Apply bias mitigation techniques by explicitly requesting multiple viewpoints, asking for evidence that both supports and challenges the main conclusions, and requesting inclusive examples that represent diverse scenarios. Compare the result against a version of the same prompt without those instructions. What you will find across all 3 exercises is that format engineering, error resistance, and bias mitigation are not extra steps. They are investments that save enormous amounts of time and dramatically improve the quality and trustworthiness of everything your AI produces. Let's bring this together. In this video, you learned why format control is a core skill, not a finishing touch. You mastered the format framework across all 6 dimensions: form, organization, representation, markup, arrangement, and terminology. You have 3 powerful format control techniques: table specifications, hierarchical structures, and custom delimiter systems. And you now have an error-resistant prompt template that addresses all 5 common AI failure modes: hallucination, relevance drifting, reasoning failures, consistency issues, and context misinterpretation. From this point forward, your AI output arrives structured, reliable, and ready to use. That is a genuine competitive advantage. In video 7, we tackle the 2 challenges that frustrate even experienced prompt engineers: unpredictable output and inconsistent quality across repeated tasks. You will learn how to build error-resistant prompts at a deeper level and master bias mitigation strategies that make your AI output more balanced, fair, and accurate than anything a basic prompt can deliver. See you in video 7.